In Rezero, an extinction-level character isn't necessarily someone who can literally kill every living thing on the planet. The real idea is whether to possess the power, abilities, influence, or survivability to realistically collapse civilizations and wipe out the overwhelming majority of the world's population before anyone can stop them. Some characters achieve that through raw, destructive power, others through immortality or broken abilities. And in Rezero, where Hack's abilities are often more dangerous than brute strength, some of the most terrifying extinction-level threats aren't even the physically strongest fighters. Reinhardt Ven Astrea is the clearest example of a guaranteed extinction-level being. Even without the Dragon Sword Reid, Reinhardt is essentially an unbeatable existence. His divine protections allow him to adapt to nearly any situation imaginable, gaining blessings that counter whatever threat he's facing. If he needs resistance to an element, he gets it. If he needs enhanced perception, speed, or recovery, he gets it. He even possesses resurrection through the Phoenix protection, meaning killing him permanently is almost impossible. What makes Reinhardt so terrifying isn't just overwhelming stats, although those alone place him above almost every character in the series. It's that there's effectively no stable countermeasure against him. The world can unite against him, and it still likely wouldn't matter, because Reinhardt continuously adapts until victory becomes inevitable. Even without his legendary sword or his divine protections, his raw physical abilities will allow him to tear through armies, nations, and eventually the world itself, while nobody remaining could realistically stop him. Extinction probability 100%. Satella is the only other being in this setting who rivals Reinhardt as a world-ending threat. Unlike hypothetical scaling, Satella already proved her extinction-level capabilities centuries ago when she swallowed half the world in shadow. That alone immediately places her above nearly every character in this series. The strongest heroes of the era, legendary figures like Reid Astrea and Volcanica, were unable to kill her and instead had to settle for sealing her away. Her shadow spread over enormous distances, consuming and annihilating entire populations at once. On top of that, Satella's regeneration and immortality are so absurd that defeating her outright borders on impossible. Even if powerful individuals survive temporarily, civilization itself wouldn't. Extinction probability 100%. The four great spirits qualify as extinction level because they function more like living natural disasters. Puck is the most obvious example through his Beast at the End form. Once unleashed, Puck begins absorbing ambient mana from the environment itself, while spreading an absolute zero blizzard across the world. Entire regions freeze solid within moments. The entire ordinary humans will die in unimaginable numbers almost immediately. Unlike many characters here, Puck doesn't really need to destroy anything. The environment itself becomes uninhabitable. Muspel can also make the entire land of Lakia uninhabitable if they were to die or somehow lose connection to the nation. The Great Spirits are especially dangerous because their powers affect large portions of the land rather than merely destroying cities one at a time. Their kill speed against normal populations is vastly higher than many combat-oriented characters. This becomes even worse if the spirits somehow decided to work together, or if they all went rogue at the same time, as their combined control over elements would decimate entire kingdoms before most are realistically able to respond. Extinction probability 100%. Regulus Corneas is terrifying for an entirely different reason. He is functionally immortal and invincible. His authority allows him to stop time on his body and anything he touches, meaning the laws of physics simply stop applying to him. Damage, force, momentum, heat, pressure, and conventional attacks become meaningless. Unless someone possesses an extremely specific counter to his authority, Regulus cannot be harmed at all. What pushes him into extinction-level territory is how offensively broken he becomes. He can turn pebbles, dust, water droplets, and even air into unstoppable projectiles, moving at impossible speeds. Entire cities could be shredded apart before anyone could comprehend what's happening. The problem with Regulus isn't necessarily large-scale AoE destruction, it's his invincibility. Most of the world literally cannot touch him, while he massacres entire populations indefinitely. The only reason his probability isn't absolute is because a few extremely specific, high-caliber abilities can bypass his mechanics. Extinction probability 90%. Reid Astrea is one of the most fundamentally unfair beings in Rezero, because his swordsmanship transcends physical limitations entirely. Reid doesn't simply cut objects, he cuts concepts, space, magic, authorities, sound, light, spiritual connections, and metaphysical constructs, even by using ordinary objects like chopsticks. Reid unleashes attacks capable by slicing through the atmosphere itself. Most broken Rezero abilities rely on special rules or invulnerability mechanics. He can sever Regulus' authority, cut through magical defense, and overpower beings which should theoretically be untouchable. The author even stated that nearly every character in the setting, besides Reinhardt and Satella, could be killed by him. If Reid seriously turned against humanity, almost nobody could oppose him. Extinction probability, 95%. Ram is the scariest what-if character in the entire series because the version we all know is a massively weakened version compared to her true potential as a potential reincarnation of the Oni god. Ram was born with absurd talent, losing her horn crippled her development. But despite that, the series repeatedly implies that her full power will surpass calamities like the White Whale and Puck. When magic at maximum output will likely erase entire battlefields, cities, and regions with overwhelming force. What truly pushes her towards extinction territory is the implication surrounding a hypothetical two-horned ram, while a hypothetical only child ram inheriting the full power of a race would have reached a level comparable or surpassing Volcanica and Reid themselves. At that point, very few characters in existence could stop her. Extinction probability, 95 to 99%. Daphne might actually be the most dangerous long-term extinction threat in all of Rezero because her power creates self-sustaining catastrophes. She created the witch beasts, including the 3 great mob beasts. The white whale erases people so completely that memories of them disappear. The black serpent spreads lethal poison capable of contaminating enormous regions. But the true nightmare is a great rabbit, an endlessly multiplying swarm that devours all living things in their vicinity. Unlike normal monsters, the rabbits scale exponentially. She can unleash disasters that continue growing beyond anyone's control. Even after her death, the destruction continues. Given enough time, her creations alone could realistically collapse the entirety of civilization. Extinction probability, 99%.
There are more than humans that exist in this world. There are also demi-humans and elves. The fact that you did not mention them is a big problem. Are you saying they are not worth talking about? Am I not human to you? The Rezero fans are nice. They are also human. They would not want me to rip the flesh from your bones and feast on your scalp. Do not make such a mistake again.
Sekhmet's authority manifests as an invisible crushing force vastly beyond Beetlejuice's unseen hand in scale, speed, power, and quantity. She can generate thousands of these forces simultaneously over enormous distances, crushing armies and cities without even moving from her position. She fought dragons, clashed against Volcanica himself, and the author stated that she could instantly defeat nearly every witch besides Satella. If motivated enough, she could likely flatten civilizations through sheer devastation alone. The only thing saving the world is her overwhelming laziness. If that mental restriction disappeared, humanity will be facing the most efficient mass killer in the setting. Extinction probability, 30%. Like I said, her laziness is what stops her. But if she locked in, then extinction probability, 98 to 99%. Volcanica represents divine destruction in its purest form. At full power, his breath attacks don't merely burn targets, they purify and erase them completely. He can annihilate massively durable enemies instantly while generating enormous shockwaves capable of devastating entire regions. Most terrifyingly, Volcanica can manipulate space itself, creating distortions that ignore conventional defense entirely. Volcanica attacking major population centers repeatedly will wipe out millions before any meaningful resistance even forms. While he lacks the mental capacity to make smart or tactical decisions, his raw destructive output makes up for it a little. His sort of senile, instinct-driven power lowers his danger level by just a tiny bit. Extinction probability, 97%. But if he was locked in and have full mental capacity, the extinction probability, 100%. Cecilus is the fastest character in the entire Rezeroverse, moving at lightning speed and even faster, blitzing so hard that he surpasses human senses, leaving after images and outpacing even Reinhardt in raw speed. He slices his way through whole towns, capitals, or countries without breaking a sweat. His 2 enchanted blades crank that danger even higher. The blade Murasame slices the conceptual point of anything, no matter if it's a person, object, phenomena, attack, curse, contract, or magic. He can nullify and destroy city leveling techniques or hacks before they land, basically cutting anything that exists. The Dream Sword, Masayumi, uses dreams as its sheath, and it can turn his wishes into reality in exchange for devouring his motivation. With his speed and god-tier swordsmanship, Cecilus can blitz and conceptually bisect whatever tricks you throw his way. Extinction probability 85 to 97%. Emilia gets an honorable mention due to the terrifying hidden potential of her powers. Under extreme emotional circumstances, her magic can spread over enormous areas and freeze entire environments solid in a type of permanent ice. Combined with the mystery surrounding her latent power, Emilia's ceiling may be higher than what the story currently shows. Still, compared to the absolute high tiers in Rezero, her current level of control and consistency keeps her below the guaranteed extinction status. Extinction probability 45%. Natsuki Subaru is the most unconventional extinction level character on this list because he's physically incredibly weak. What makes him terrifying is returned by death. Subaru can fail endlessly while gathering information endlessly until he discovers the exact sequence of events needed to achieve his goal. If Subaru truly abandoned morality and dedicated himself entirely to extinction, he could eventually orchestrate it through manipulation, planning, alliances, timing, and repeated retries. The Pride If route already proved he's capable of engineering mass destruction and death on an enormous scale. Despite lacking combat power, given enough loops, Subaru could exploit political tensions, unleash monsters, manipulate powerful individuals, trigger wars, and create a catastrophic domino effect until civilization collapses. His entire danger comes from his infinite retries. The only reason he ranks lower than beings like Satella is because his extinction path is slower and heavily dependent on preparation. Extinction probability 89%. So, do you guys agree with my points, or do you have your own extinction probabilities in mind?